Welcome to the world of exploration. Welcome to the world of learning. Let's start exploring. Let's start learning. Alright, so today we are going to deal with note making, note writing. Notes, now, what do we actually, when we say the word notes, what comes to your mind? What do we actually mean by notes or note making? Notes are short written record of facts to aid the memory. Notes are usually taken to record a speech or dictation while listening to it or after reading a book, a magazine, or an article. They are referred back whenever needed and may be reproduced in the desired way. Note making and summarizing is a crucial skill that helps us in academics. So herein we are talking about note making as well as summarizing, which is a quintessential part of note making. Summarizing is different from first you make notes, you draft notes, and then you have key to abbreviations, and after that you have summarizing section, right? So summarizing is crucial skill that helps us in academics. The function of notes is to filter the important information and help us retain it. It also makes it easier for us to refer to the important points in future. It transforms the entire set of information into a manageable size. It includes the key points which make it more readable. It helps in better understanding of the concept. It aids quick revision during exam time. Short and compact. Good notes must be short and compact. Complete information. They must contain all important information. Logical. They must be presented in a logical way. Understandable. They should be understandable when consulted at a later stage. While making notes, we follow certain standard practices. These may be listed as heading and subheadings, abbreviation and symbols, note form, numbering, and indentation. The heading reflects the main theme, whereas the subheadings point out how it has been developed. The selection of proper heading and subheading reveals the grasp of the passage by the students. In the absence of proper assimilation of main ideas and subsidiary points, it is possible to make notes. They are used for precision and economy of words, and hence quite helpful in note making. These are essential components of note making. Students often make use of abbreviations and symbols in doing their written work. So abbreviations and symbols, whenever we talk about abbreviations, while drafting your notes, while making your notes, you have to have abbreviations, right? And that is the reason why we have key to abbreviations, in which you basically write the key to abbreviations. You write the abbreviations along with the main word, and then you have that key to abbreviations as a different section. Note: at least 4 recognizable abbreviations are to be used in note making in your board examination. Symbols. These are the universal symbols that you can make use of while you are drafting a note or you are making notes, right? So universal symbols, for instance, and so the symbol and is used for and, the symbol for therefore is used, then for because is used, that is used, for percentage is used, for 100 is used, for example is used, which for namely it's used, and mathematical symbols for greater than, for equal to, for at the rate of, for less than, for or, for before. These are the symbols that are used. These are the mathematical symbols. Then second part is abbreviations. Abbreviations can be divided into 3 groups: acronyms, contractions, and short forms. Acronyms, when we talk about the capital initial letters. Contractions, whenever we talk about contractions, we're talking about taking first few letters of the word. Short forms, taking first few and last few letters. Alright, clear? Then study the following examples. Acronyms, capital initial letters. For instance, CBSC. Your main example would be CBSC. for Central Board of Secondary Education, then CO for Commanding Officer, CM for Chief Minister, GPO for General Post Office, and CERT again very important for National Council of Educational Research and Training, PM for Prime Minister, SHO for Station House Officer, SP for Superintendent of Police, UK for United Kingdom, USA for United States of America, UNO for United Nations Organization, UNESCO for United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, WHO for World Health Organization. So these are the acronyms when capital letters are used, and you can see that these are written in the in capital letters, right? Then we move on to contractions, that is taking first few letters of the word. So जब हम contract कर रहे हैं, whenever we are taking the first few letters of the word, not the entire word, but few letters of the word in order to denote the entire word, it is known as contraction. That means you are contracting it. ठीक है, इसका क्या मतलब हुआ कि contract कर रहे हैं. जैसे कि captain के लिए CAPT is used for captain, then CO for it's used for company. तो जब भी ये हम words लिखेंगे contraction वाले, समझ आ जाएगा हमें उसका full form. उन words को हम कहते हैं contractions. ठीक है, COL for colonel, dis for discount, S for especially, figure for figure, honor for honorary, in for inch, lab for laboratory, lib for library, rev for reverend, SC for science, sept for September, signature for signature, SOC for society, tech for technical, tel for telegram, tele for telephone, univ for university, right? These are the contractions. Then we move on to short forms, that is taking first and the last letters. So you take the first and the last letter. So for book, for instance, book, you will take B, and then for the initial letter, that is B, and the last letter, that is K. So you'll make it BK, book. Doctor, you'll take D and you'll take A and you'll make it doctor. That refers to doctor. Then for draft, you will take D, you will take F, and you will take T, so that it becomes easier for you to figure it out that it's the draft that we are talking about. Then for department, you'll take D, you'll take E, you'll take P, you'll take T. It will denote department. So on and so forth. Here are several examples that we can go through. For instance, established, est is used for foot, ft is used, foot or feet. For government, govt is used, ltd is used for limited, Mr for Mr, Miss for Miss or Mrs, organization for organization, point, pt for point, retd for retired, relgn for religion, recd for received, shd for should, std for standard, scn for stations, scy for secretary, wt for weight, wer for year, wd for yard. Some other contractions you can go through. Then use of full stop is in an abbreviation. You can just have a look. And while making notes, the whole information is listed in note form in points only. Notes should not only be written in complete sentences, as we can't remember the whole information, so only the main points are listed one under the other and numbered. So it's not when we talk about note making, it's not about elaborating it to such an extent that the information becomes monotonous and you're not able to grasp the entire crux of it. So समझने के लिए उसको छोटे फॉर्म में लिखना होता है, right? ये नहीं है कि उसको elongated sentences का प्रयोग करें या आप उसका इस्तेमाल करें या उसका यूज़ करें. आपको स्मॉलर सेंटेंसेस का 1/3 सेंटेंस आपको चाहिए और उसका इस्तेमाल करिए. ठीक है. It implies the logical division and subdivision of the listed information by using figures, letters, dashes, and spaces. All examples and figurative speeches are eliminated. Indentation, very important part. Indentation means leaving space at the beginning of a line of a print or writing. जब भी आप लिखें आप हमेशा स्पेस छोड़ के लिखें ताकि आपके लिए इजी हो जाए, so that it becomes easier for you to understand that what note or what point you have written and elaborated, right? So if you are writing, give the heading, then 1.1, leave a margin, right? Leaving that margin or leaving that space is called indenting, right? It's referred to as indentation. First write the title and then write down the notes in a logical order. From the main headings to the subheadings, the numbering should be spaced a little to the right. So it should be more towards the right side rather than the left side. You have to leave space on the left side. Left side पे आपको space छोड़ना है. ठीक है. अब now what do we get to see? That main sections 1, 2, 3, 4, x1 and so forth, etc. Subsections A, B, C, D, etc. या तो आप A, B, C, D में divide कर सकते हैं या 1, 2, 3, 4 में divide कर सकते हैं. Whenever you divide it into 1, 2, 3, 4, it's called decimal system. ठीक है. यह भी indented format है. This is the indented format, but decimal system, this is the decimal system, and it's easier to follow decimal system. And in during your board exams also, it is viable to use this system, right? Because you'll be giving the main heading in 1 and in 2, and then you would be dividing your main heading into subsections, that is 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5, and then to whatever you have written in the second part, the main heading, the main heading should be divided into subparts, and subparts should relate to the main heading, right? And it should be further divided into 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, 2.4, or 2.2. If further it has to be divided, then 2.2.1, 2.2.2, 2.2.3, and minimum 4 of it has to be written. So 3, then give the heading 3, then 3.1, 3.2, 3.3, 3.4, so on and so forth. ऐसे ही करते जाना है. ठीक है. 1 हेडिंग देना है, फिर 1.1 सब हेडिंग देना है, उसका उसी का वर्जन है, उसी को इलाबोरेट करना है हेडिंग को, और उससे रिलेटेड होना चाहिए. ठीक है. देन वी मूव ऑन टू द टाइटल notes format. Example 1.1 sub points. यहाँ पे it has been mentioned, it's already mentioned the sub points, that how sub points have to be written. 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, all these three headings act as sub points. Clear? Then 2 is the main heading, then 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, these are the subheadings, these are the sub points. Then we have key to abbreviations, which is a separate box altogether. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you'll write the abbreviated word along with the main word. Clear? I hope it's clear. For more information, like and share and subscribe to our channel. Thank you. All the best. Goodbye.